Cactus standing lonely on cliff. Sun fading behind distant hills. Air brushing soft against skin. Everything staying calm tonight. Teacup resting on wooden table. Steam rising softly in the air. Window showing faint distant skyline. Everything holding mellow tone. Glacier glowing faint under moonlight. Ice cracking softly in distance. Cold air moving slow tonight. Everything feeling silent and still. Hammer lying beside empty workbench. Wood stacked neatly in corner. Air drifting gently through windows. Everything staying calm and quiet. Umbrella hanging from balcony railing. Rain dripping softly on the street. Puddles reflecting faint neon glow. Air carrying gentle damp scent. Cactus shadows stretching across sand. Wind moving lightly over small dunes. Air brushing soft against rocks. Night staying mellow and calm, yeah. Teacup glowing under small lantern. Steam rising in the quiet night. No scribbled across open notebook. Everything holding soft, gentle pace. Glacier reflecting distant starlight. Snow sparkling faint across ridge. Air brushing cold against skin. Everything feeling slow and still. Hammer tapping faint inside workshop. Wood shifting softly underway. Air carrying subtle warm scent. Night feeling calm and mellow. Umbrella swaying gently in breeze. Rain falling softly on pavement. Lights reflecting on puddle streets. Air moving calm across city. Cactus holding shadow against night. Moon rising slowly above horizon. Air brushing soft against desert. Everything staying quiet and gentle. Teacup empty beside notebook. Steam fading slowly in the air. Air brushing soft across table. Everything staying calm tonight.
No, 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 no. Yeah, yeah. Coconut rolling beside quiet shore. Palm leaves swaying with night breeze. Sand glowing faint under moon. Everything feeling calm and soft. Neon signs flickering across street. Windows reflecting distant glow. Cars moving slowly on asphalt. Night growing mellow and quiet. Ladder leaning against rooftop edge. Air brushing lightly across walls. Stars peeking above tall buildings. City feeling soft under dark. Compass lying on wooden table. Paper map beside gentle lantern. Notes marking quiet night plans. Everything feeling calm and still. Thunder rolling across distant mountains. Clouds moving swiftly over horizon. Rain falling lightly on rooftops. Air smelling clean and fresh. Yeah. Coconut shells scattered along beach. Waves brushing gently over sand. Palm shadows stretching in moonlight. Everything staying calm and quiet. Neon light reflecting on wet asphalt. Puddles shining with color glow. Air moving slowly through alleys. Night staying mellow and soft. Yeah. Ladder climbing up hidden fire escape. Wind brushing hair softly down. City lights flickering from windows. Everything feeling peaceful tonight. Compass pointing toward distant skyline. Moon rising above tropical rooftops. Soft breeze moving through quiet street. Time stretching calm and gentle. Thunder echoing behind dark clouds. Rain touching leaves upon. Air smelling faintly of salt. Everything feeling calm and slow. Coconut water spilling near sand. Footprints fading in gentle waves. Palm fronds swaying under night. Everything staying mellow and soft. Neon signs dimming slowly now. Street empty under glowing lamps. City breathing quietly tonight. Everything feeling calm and distant. No, 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 no.
Marble floors glinting under streetlights. Shadows stretching across quiet avenue. Cold air brushing soft jackets. Everything moving calm tonight. Bicycle leaning against metal railing. Wheels reflecting faint neon glow. Air carrying distant faint voices. Time stretching gentle and slow. Popcorn spilling inside empty theaters. Screen glowing faint across rows. Seas creaking softly underway. Night holding soft silent rhythm. Satellite passing above distant rooftops. Stars blinking slowly in darkness. Air moving softly through alleys. City breathing calm tonight. Pillow resting on quiet bed. Sheets folded under warm lamp. Soft light filling entire room. Everything staying gentle and still. Marble columns rising beside fountain. Water glinting faint under moon. Shadows stretching across quiet plaza. Air holding calm, gentle tone. Bicycle wheels spinning softly away. Street empty under distant neon. Air brushing cool against skin. Everything feeling mellow tonight. Popcorn kernels dancing in small bag. Movie screen showing dim shadow. Air moving softly through theater. Everything feeling calm and still. Satellite blinking faint over skyline. Lights reflecting on glass windows. Air drifting slowly above city. Time stretching soft and gentle. Pillow fluffed under quiet hands. Sleep coming slow and gentle. Room holding warmth and calm. Everything staying soft tonight. Marble steps leading up old building. Moonlight touching faint deck of edges. Shadows moving softly across hall. Air brushing calm against stone. Bicycle parked under dim street light. Wheels resting quietly on asphalt. Everything silent across the city. Night holding calm, gentle air. Cactus standing beside empty road. Wind brushing slowly over sand. Shadows stretching under faint moonlight. Feeling calm and deep. Violin resting near abandoned house. Strings humming softly in air. Notes drifting across quiet desert. Everything staying gentle tonight. Asphalt stretching under neon lights. Cars gone leaving empty streets. Air carrying faint distant noise. City slowly fading behind hills. Galaxy shimmer above pale horizon. Stars glimmering across silent night. Wind moving softly through canyon. Everything feeling strangely calm. Stapler resting on wooden desk. Paper scattered across old pages. Pens lying quietly nearby. Holding gentle stillness now. Cactus shadows dancing under moon. Sand moving lightly in wind. Small rocks shifting along trail. Time stretching slow and steady. Violin echoing faint across hills. Notes merging with desert silence. Air carrying soft distant tune. Night staying calm and slow. Galaxy reflecting faint over sand. Stars blinking high in darkness. Cactus holding shadow against wind. Everything remaining strangely quiet. Asphalt heated under setting sun. Wind cooling across empty road. Shadows moving slowly across curves. Time flowing calm and smooth. Stapler left aside, open notebook. Paper waiting for quiet hands. Light falling soft across desks. Everything holding calm tonight. Desert stretching in the distant horizon. Air carrying warm silent breeze. Stars rising slowly over dunes. Everything feeling soft and still. Violin resting again intent. Notes fading across empty canyon. Wind brushing softly against cactus. Night feeling quiet and complete. suicidal door, wind moving across silent beach. Clouds covering distant pale sky, everything feeling cold and quiet. Yeah. Candle burning on wooden table, light shaking across quiet walls. Air carrying faint ocean smell, room feeling calm and empty. Yeah. Skylight glowing above dark room, moonlight falling across the floor, dust floating slowly in silence, everything feeling soft and still. Plank creaking under slow steps, sound echoing across empty space. Wind pushing against the window, night becoming heavy and calm. Shadows stretching along the wall, light moving slowly beside it. Air holding quiet tension now, everything feeling strange and quiet. Cold wind entering through cracks, curtains moving without any sound. Clouds hiding the distant moon, room staying dark and calm. Old chairs standing near window, floor holding quiet wooden echoes. Air smelling faint and dusty, everything staying soft and still. Night growing deeper every minute, wind moving across silent shore. Sky turning darker and darker, everything feeling calm and distant. Light fading slowly from room, walls becoming quiet and cold. Air holding soft empty silence, everything staying strangely peaceful. Clouds moving slowly across sky, wind touching the empty house. Floor remaining quiet and still, everything feeling calm tonight. Growing heavier inside room, moon hiding behind gray clouds. Air staying cold and quiet, everything feeling slow and distant. Morning still far away now, sky remaining dark and empty. Wind moving across the shore, everything staying calm and silent.
Teacup resting on wooden table, steam rising softly in the air. Light falling across scattered pages, everything holding mellow calm tonight. Hammer lying beside stacked wood, air moving gently through workshop. Shadows stretching across workbench, everything feeling soft and still. Notebook open under warm lamp, pen tracing faint words on paper. Air brushing gentle across desk, everything staying calm tonight. Pencil rolling softly across tables, sketches fading under dim light. Shadows stretching slowly along floor, air moving mellow and quiet. Compass pointing toward faint northern star, maps scattered on wooden bench. Air brushing soft across edges, everything staying slow and calm. Teacup steaming beside open notebook, pages fluttering faint in gentle breeze. Air moving soft across desk, everything feeling mellow and still. Hammer tapping faint against metal, wood shifting slightly underweight. Air brushing gentle across surface, everything staying calm and soft. Notebook catching faint candle glow, pencil tracing lines on empty page. Shadows stretching across quiet floor, air moving slow and gentle. Compass glinting under pale lantern, maps spread across old wooden table. Air drifting softly across room, everything feeling mellow tonight. Teacup empty beside scattered notes, steam fading softly into air. Pen lying quietly on table, everything staying calm and still. Hammer resting quietly on bench, wood stacked neatly against wall. Air brushing gentle across workshop, everything feeling soft and mellow. Notebook closed under dim skylight, pencil resting beside scattered maps. Air moving slow across table, everything staying calm and quiet.
Standing above quiet city, cold wind touching empty antennas, sky stretching over silent buildings, everything feeling distant tonight. Vinyl spinning inside dark rooms, soft beat moving through walls, light glowing across old speakers, time slowing without any noise, shadow moving along brick walls, street light flickering above the road, rain reflecting faint yellow light, everything feeling calm and lonely. Alleyways stretching between tall buildings, water dripping from broken pipes, steps echoing across wet ground, night breathing slow and heavy, drumstick tapping on wooden table, rhythm growing very quietly now, air carrying soft hollow sound, room feeling calm and empty, clouds covering the distant skyline, wind moving across empty streets, windows glowing far away now, everything feeling slow and quiet, old posters hanging on walls, lights fading above narrow street, rain falling soft on asphalt, everything holding quiet rhythm, soft beat coming from window, wind carrying distant music sound, night staying calm and still, time moving slower than usual, dark sky covering the city, street lights shining very faint now, wind touching cold concrete walls, everything staying quiet tonight, cars disappearing into darkness slowly, rain becoming lighter than before, roads stretching far into distance, everything feeling calm and hollow, morning still far away now, city staying silent and empty, wind moving slowly across rooftops, everything holding soft quiet tension, light starting somewhere far away, sky turning slowly into gray, wind touching silent buildings again, everything becoming calm and quiet.
Balcony looking over quiet street, lights glowing far below slowly, wind moving across cold buildings, everything feeling calm tonight. Vinyl spinning inside small room, soft music filling quiet space, lamp glowing near the window, time moving slower than usual, mosaic floor inside empty hallway, old colors fading very softly, steps echoing across the tiles, everything feeling calm and distant, tide moving slowly near harbor, water touching quiet, dark stones, clouds drifting above silent sea, night becoming soft and calm, notebook resting beside warm lamp, pages opening without any sound, pen line near the corner, everything feeling slow and quiet. Wind moving along empty street, cars passing very far away, windows glowing inside buildings, everything staying calm tonight. Soft clouds covering the skyline, air becoming colder and quiet, Shadows stretching across the road, everything feeling distant again. Music fading slowly in room, lamplight growing very soft. Night staying calm and quiet, time moving slow and steady. Harbor becoming completely silent now, water moving softly in darkness. Clouds hiding distant pale stars, everything feeling strangely peaceful. Light falling across quiet table, room staying calm and empty. Wind touching the cold window, everything holding soft, silent. City staying silent and still, night becoming deeper than before. Sky turning darker slowly now, everything feeling calm again. And morning not coming yet now, air staying cold and quiet. City resting under soft darkness, everything staying peaceful. Drumstick resting on worn table, beats lingering softly in memory. Air brushing gentle along wood, even feeling mellow and calm. Hammock swaying above quiet beach, wind brushing faint across ropes. Waves lapping softly against shore, everything staying gentle and still. Driftwood scattered along empty sand, moonlight catching faint reflections. Air moving slow along tide, everything feeling calm and soft. Candle flickering inside small cottage, shadows dancing softly on walls. Wind brushing gentle through open door, everything holding mellow gentle. Vinyl spinning faint inside room, music drifting softly through air. Light catching edges of furniture, everything feeling calm tonight. Drumstick tapping lightly on table, Hammock swinging faint above deck. Waves brushing quietly along shore, everything staying mellow and still. Driftwood glimmering faint in moonlight, air brushing gentle along coast. Candle flame flickering softly now, everything feeling calm and mellow. Vinyl crackling faint and quiet, music moving slowly through room. Hammock swaying faint in breeze, everything staying gentle tonight. Drumstick resting under soft glow, candlelight casting shadows on walls. Air brushing soft across floor, everything holding calm, mellow tone. Driftwood creaking faint along shoreline, waves brushing soft against sand. Vinyl spinning quietly in room, everything feeling mellow and still. Hammock swaying above quiet bay, candle flickering faint in distance. Air moving gentle on coast, everything staying calm tonight. Drumstick, driftwood, vinyl, candle, hammock, night settling softly across beach. Air drifting gentle on shoreline. Everything holding quiet gentleness. Mirror catching faint morning light, reflection dancing across empty room. Shadows stretching long on walls, everything holding calm and soft. Cactus standing tall in warm sun, spines glinting faint in morning. Air brushing gently cross desert, everything feeling mellow and still. Violin resting on wooden chair, strings catching soft sun glow. Air moving slow across music, everything holding quiet, gentle tone. Freezer humming softly in kitchen, cold air brushing faintly nearby. Food stacked neatly inside shelves. Everything feeling slow and calm. Mountain rising above distant valley. Peaks glowing faint under sunlight. Wind moving gently cross slopes. Everything staying mellow and soft. Mirror reflecting distant city lights. Shadows shifting softly across floor. Air brushing lightly along edges. Everything feeling calm tonight. Cactus bending under early breeze. Sunlight touching tips of spines. Shadows stretching gently crossing. Everything staying mellow and still. Violin strings humming faint melody. Air brushing softly across wood. Shadows dancing under pale glow. Everything feeling calm and soft. Freezer door opening quietly now. Cold air drifting in the kitchen. Light glinting softly across floor. Everything holding mellow gentle. Mountain path winding slowly upward. Wind brushing soft along rocks. Sunlight glimmering faint on peaks. Everything feeling calm and still. Mirror catching moonlight softly tonight. Shadows stretching across quiet room. Air moving gentle across surface. Everything staying mellow and soft. Cactus spines blending under stars. Air brushing cool across desert. Shadows stretching long along sand. Everything holding gentle calm tonight.
Shaking under pale sky. Everything feeling calm and slow. Lantern glowing near small tent. Warm light touching the grass. Shadows stretching along the ground. Night becoming soft and quiet. Pebble falling into still water. Ripples moving across dark lake. Air holding distant forest sounds. Everything feeling peaceful tonight. Horizon fading into cold darkness. Stars appearing slowly above trees. Wind rushing across silent water. Time moving calm and steady. Filament glowing inside glass bowl. Light reflecting on quiet lake. Small insects circling the glow. Night holding soft silent rhythm. Fire time beside old stone. Smoke rising into dark sky. Wind touching quiet tree branches. Everything becoming still again. Clouds drifting over hidden stars. Water reflecting soft night shades. Leaves moving slowly in wind. Everything feeling calm and deep. Small waves touching the shore. Cold air moving across grass. Trees standing quiet in dark. Time slowing more and more. Light fading near the campsite. Sky turning deeper and darker. Wind whispering across the lake. Everything staying soft and calm. Night growing deeper every minute. Water staying completely silent. Clouds covering the distant sky. Everything feeling strangely peaceful. Morning still far away now. Air staying cold and quiet. Trees holding silent shadows. Everything waiting without sound. First light touching the lake. Sky opening slowly again. Wind moving gently across water. Everything starting soft and calm. Driftwood resting beside calm river. Water moving softly under bridge.
Clouds drifting across pale sky, everything feeling warm tonight. Lantern glowing beside old bench, light touching quiet grass softly. Shadows stretching across the ground, evening becoming calm and gentle. Rooftops standing above small houses, wind moving across quiet streets. Windows glowing far below slowly, everything feeling peaceful again. Feather drifting across warm air, wind carrying it very slowly. Sky turning soft and orange, time moving calm and slow. Notebook resting near a wooden table, pages moving under quiet wind. Pen lying near soft paper, everything feeling calm and soft. Soft clouds covering the sunset, light fading slowly across town. Air becoming warm and quiet, everything staying calm tonight. Street remaining quiet and empty, wind moving across the grass. Sky turning darker slowly now, everything feeling soft and distant. Small lights shining near houses, evening growing calm and deep. Air carrying soft summer warmth, everything staying peaceful now. Clouds moving above quiet rooftops, wind brushing gently across trees. Night becoming calm and soft, everything feeling slow again. Soft silence covering small town, windows glowing behind curtains. Air moving slowly across streets, everything feeling calm tonight. Sky turning darker every minute, wine staying gentle and quiet. Town resting under soft night, everything feeling peaceful again. Night staying calm and warm air, soft quiet silence. Clouds moving very slowly now, everything feeling soft and calm.
Alleyway stretching under weak neon, rain falling across broken bricks, water shining under dim lights, everything feeling lonely tonight. Saxophone echoing across West Street, noise drifting into dark corners, sound fading behind old buildings, night breathing slow and heavy. Balcony standing above silent road, curtains moving under cold wind, windows glowing faint behind glass, everything feeling distant and calm. Mosaic floor inside empty hallway, old patterns fading very slowly, steps echoing across cold tiles, hair carrying quiet forgotten memories. Feather drifting across dark pavement, wind pushing it towards shadows, street light reflecting faint around it, everything moving slow and quiet. Rain dripping from broken pipes, water running along the curb, cars passing without any sound, night staying heavy and calm. Dim windows glowing above street, shadows moving behind thin curtains, wind brushing softly along walls, everything feeling quiet and strange. Old signs hanging above sidewalks, lights flickering without rhythm now, people disappearing in the darkness, time moving slower than usual. Clouds covering the silent skyline, rain becoming softer than before, wind moving through narrow streets, everything staying calm and distant. Empty roads stretching far away, lights fading behind wet asphalt, night holding quiet broken echoes, air feeling cold and hollow. Dark corners hiding silent shapes, wind carrying distant city noise, sky
Hey. Yeah. Yeah. Landing glowing softly above steps. Shadows stretching across old stones. Air drifting gentle through night. Yeah. Everything holding calm, gentle tone. Yeah. Balcony open, a quiet city. Wind brushing faint against railing. Lights flickering faint in distance. Everything feeling strangely peaceful now. Yeah. Feather drifting along, gentle breezes. Yeah. Air carrying soft, distant sound. Shadows moving softly across the floor. Yeah. Everything staying quiet and calm. Yeah. Prism catching fading sunlight gently. Yeah. Colors scattering faint across walls. Yeah. Air moving slow along edges. Yeah. Everything feeling mellow and still. Tide brushing softly against shore. Water moving gentle under moon. Air drifting quietly along sand. Everything holding calm, gentle energy. Yeah. Lantern flickering faint in distance. Balcony doors creaking softly now. Feather gliding across empty street. Everything staying mellow and calm. Prism reflecting last bits of light. Shadows dancing faint on walls. Air brushing gentle across night. Everything holding quiet, peaceful tone. Tide whispering softly to rocks. Moonlight glimmering across calm waves. Lanterns glowing faint across distance. Everything feeling mellow tonight. Yeah. Balcony railing cold under hands. Feather resting near quiet table. Air drifting slowly across floor. Everything staying soft and calm. Prism bending light across candle. Shadows stretching faint along walls. Tide moving gently along shore. Everything holding calm, gentle tone. Lantern swinging softly in wind. Balcony doors open tonight. Feather drifting across quiet air. Everything feeling mellow and still. Prism scattering light across room. Tide brushing soft along stones. Air drifting gentle across balcony. Hey, everything staying calm and peaceful.
Coconut palms swaying in breeze. Sunset fading behind distant hills. Air moving soft across sand. Everything holding calm tonight. Lighthouse standing above rocky cliffs. Light blinking slowly in distance. Waves crashing gently against rocks. Air brushing soft over shore. Waterfall cascading in the quiet pool. Mist rising softly in the air. Rocks glistening faint under moon. Everything feeling mellow and still. Glacier reflecting faint starlight glow. Ice creaking softly in distance. Cold air brushing against skin. Everything holding slow, gentle tone. Lantern flickering faint inside cabin. Soft glow filling quiet room. shadows stretching across wooden floor, air drifting calm across space. Coconut leaves rustling under night, wind moving lightly over sand, distant waves brushing against shore. Everything feeling slow and mellow. Lighthouse glowing over distant seas, ships moving slowly toward the horizon, air brushing soft across deck. Everything holding calm tonight. Waterfall dropping in the quiet canyon, mist rising faintly in moonlight, air brushing soft across rocks. Everything scanning mellow and still, glacier edges glinting under stars, ice reflecting faint starlight above, air moving slow across valley. Everything feeling calm tonight. Lantern swinging above quiet porch, soft glow filling dim air, shadows stretching across floorboards. Everything staying gentle and still. Coconut shadows stretching on sand, wind moving softly over dunes, air brushing calm across palms. Night holding mellow, gentle tone. Lighthouse beam cutting through darkness, see reflecting faint starlight glow, air moving slowly over waves. Everything feeling calm and still.
Driftwood resting beside cold water, waves touching sand very softly, clouds moving over pale horizon. Everything feeling slow and quiet. Notebook open across wooden bench, loose pages lifting in wind, pen rolling near faded cover, thoughts drifting far from noise. Prism hanging beside window frame, light breaking into soft colors, dust floating slowly in the air, room holding silent afternoon calm. Skylight glowing above empty floor, sunlight falling across quiet room, shadows stretching across old walls, air standing completely still now. Tide moving slow near stones, water whispering along the shore, seagulls flying above gray waves. Everything feeling distant and calm. Old bench standing near sand, wind moving across empty shore, clouds fading behind soft light, time slowing without any sound, pages turning without any hands, dust rising from a quiet table, air carrying soft wooden sand, room feeling calm and empty, light falling across silent hallway, walls holding quiet fading echo, steps stopping before a doorway. Everything staying strangely peaceful. Evening settling across quiet water, sky turning slowly into gray, wind brushing across cold stones. Everything moving soft and slow, soft clouds hiding the horizon, waves rolling quietly toward land, air feeling colder than before, silence growing deeper tonight. Small shadows covering empty floor, light fading from distant window, air staying calm and steady. Everything holding quiet tension. Night arriving over silent shores, sky turning deep and endless, wind moving slowly across sand. Everything becoming calm again.
stretching under weak lights. Rain shining across old bricks. Water moving along the ground. Night staying slow and quiet. Prism hanging inside small window. Light breaking into quiet colors. Dust moving slowly through room. Everything feeling soft and still. Hammock swinging beside quiet house. Wind moving across empty yard. Leaves shaking under dim sky. Time slowing more and more. Horizon fading behind tall buildings. Clouds moving across distant sky. Lights disappearing very slowly. Everything feeling distant again. Soft wind touching empty street. Cars passing far away now. Night growing calm and deep. Everything staying quiet tonight, yeah. Dim lights shining above sidewalks. Windows closing one by one. Air moving softly through city. Everything feeling calm and slow. Rain stopping across empty roads. Water reflecting quiet street lights. Clouds hiding in the silent sky. Night becoming softer now. Soft echoes fading in distance. Wind touching cold brick walls. Sky turning darker every minute. Everything staying peaceful tonight. Street remaining empty and still. Clouds moving slowly above rooftops. Wind brushing across quiet corners. Everything feeling calm again. Lights fading behind dark windows. Air holding quiet night silence. City resting under gray sky. Everything feeling soft and distant. Morning still very far away. Night staying calm and quiet. Wind moving across empty streets. Everything holding soft silence.
Lantern glowing softly above steps. Shadows stretching across old stones. Air drifting gentle through night. Everything holding calm, gentle tone. Balcony open to quiet city. Wind brushing faint against railing. Lights flickering faint in distance. Everything feeling strangely peaceful now. Feather drifting long, gentle breeze. Air carrying soft distant sound. Shadows moving softly across floor. Everything staying quiet and calm. Prism catching fading sunlight gently. Color scattering faint across walls. Air moving slow along edges. Everything feeling mellow and still calm. Tide brushing softly against shore. Water moving gentle under moon. Air drifting quiet in the lone sand. Everything holding calm, gentle energy. Yeah. Lantern flickering faint in distance. Balcony doors creaking softly now. Feather gliding across empty street. Everything staying mellow and calm. Prism reflecting last bits of light. Shadows dancing faint on walls. Air brushing gentle across night. Everything holding quiet, peaceful tone. Tide whispering softly to rocks. Moonlight glimmering across calm waves. Lanterns glowing faint across distance. Everything feeling mellow tonight. Balcony railing cold under hands. Feather resting near quiet table. Air drifting slowly across floor. Everything staying soft and calm. Prism bending light across candles. Shadows stretching faint along walls. Tide moving gently along shore. Everything holding calm, gentle. Lantern swinging softly in wind. Balcony doors open tonight. feather drift across quiet air. Everything feeling mellow and still. Prism scattering light across room. Tide brushing soft along stones. Air drifting gentle across balcony. Everything staying calm and peaceful. Teacup resting near a soft candle. Steam rising slowly into air. Warm aroma drifting through room. Evening feeling calm and mellow. Lantern glowing faint on rooftop. Shadow stretching along boards. Wind brushing soft across rails. Everything feeling strangely peaceful tonight. Prism catching fading sunlight gently. Light scattering softly across walls. Colors glimmer faint along floor. Air moving slow and calm. Balcony doors open tonight. Wind brushing faint against rails. Distant city lights twinkling softly. Everything staying quiet and still. Pebble resting on empty pathway. Footsteps echo faint in distance. Air brushing lightly along ground. Everything feeling mellow and calm. Teacup one fading slowly now. Steam rising faint against night. Lantern glow flickering gently nearby. Air moving soft across balcony. Prism casting faint rainbow edges. Shadows dancing gently on walls. Wind brushing soft along rails. Everything holding calm, quiet tone. Balcony railing cold underhand. Air drifting soft across evening. Pebble resting in tiny fountain. Everything staying calm and mellow. Lantern swinging gently above floor. Shadows moving softly along rails. Teacup catching faint reflection. Air holding quiet gentle energy. Prism shining faint across tabletop. Light bending softly on papers. Air moving slow across room. Everything staying calm tonight. Pebbles shifting slightly under wind. Balcony doors creaking faintly. Lanterns flickering across evening. Everything feeling mellow and still. Teacup empty now on table. Prism scattering last bits of light. Air drifting gently through balcony. Everything holding quiet, calm tonight.
Stapler resting on cluttered desk. Paper stacked beside open notebook. Light falling softly on edges. Air drifting calm across room. Sunflower blooming near bright window. Petals brushing warm morning light. Shadows stretching along wooden floor. Everything feeling soft and still. Balcony overlooking quiet city street.
Wind brushing faint across rails, leaves rustling gently in evening, air carrying mellow distant sounds. Snowflake landing lightly on branch, frost glimmering under pale moon, air holding cold, quiet, calm, everything feeling strangely soft tonight. Pocket hiding small folded note, paper tucked beneath worn jacket, hand brushing lightly across edge, everything staying mellow and quiet. Sunflower petals swaying in breeze, light fading softly behind horizon, air brushing calm across floor, shadows stretching long into dusk. Balcony doors open tonight, wind carrying faint distance sound, lanterns glowing softly in distance, everything holding gentle calm. Snowflake drifting slowly toward ground, cold air brushing against cheek, branches bending lightly under frost, everything feeling mellow and still. Pocket holding folded tiny sketch, pen lying faint beside it, air moving soft across table, everything staying calm tonight. Sunflower bending under early wind, petals glowing faintly under sunlight, air moving soft along garden, everything holding mellow, gentle tone. Balcony shadows stretching along walls, street lights glowing faint below, wind brushing lightly across rails, everything feeling calm and still. Snowflake landing quietly on window, frost glowing faint under lantern, air drifting soft across night, everything staying gentle and mellow.
Stacked along quiet shore, waves brushing soft against planks, air carrying faint pine scent, evening settling slowly around cabin, haymock swinging lightly winged tree, shadows stretching across warm wood, soft wind brushing gentle skin, everything feeling calm and warm.
Candle flickering in corner quietly, light reflecting faint on table, books scattered across small desk, air moving gentle, almost still. Prism scattering sunlight through window, colors glimmering across floor softly, air drifting through open door, evening stretching mellow across room.
Feather drifting down from pine branch, landing softly on warm wooden deck, air brushing gently over moss, everything holding quiet, peaceful rhythm. Driftwood glowing faint in sunset, haymock swaying softly in breeze, candlelight reflecting on nearby walls, air moving gentle across quiet space.
Prism catching last light of day, feather floating across calm air, shadow stretching slow across floor, evening holding mellow, gentle hush.
Haymock swaying over pine needles, air brushing soft across skin, driftwood scattered along quiet shore, everything feeling calm, gentle peace.
Candle flickering soft in room, prism scattering faint rainbow glow,
Feather drifting across warm wood,
air
moving slow across
evening.
haymock resting under fading sky, soft wind brushing over pine, driftwood glimmering faint in sunset, everything staying calm, mellow now.
Feather floating through quiet air,
Candlelight reflecting on warm walls, prism scattering gentle colored light,
everything feeling peaceful,
soft still, driftwood stacked by by cabin door. Haymaker swinging, faint breeze. Candle flickering over quiet floor. Evening holding calm and gentle hush.